Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Horse with No Name podcast here on Friday, November 2nd in a soon-to-be soggy Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The NEAC Final Four is upon us for women's volleyball and men's soccer. And we are going to have men's soccer head coach Tommy Ardt come on the podcast here in just a few moments. He'll do the same thing we did last week's episode where they kind of just pop in the door, the old Mr. Rogers style, and we'll have a good conversation with Tommy about his team's chances this week in the NEAC playoffs. They'll take part in the NEAC semifinals tomorrow afternoon down in Abington, PA. They'll face Penn College. For now, it's myself, Zach Freeman, and co-host Tyler Greenlee on the weekly podcast here. We're going to do a little recap of all the teams. We're going to do a top five and kind of look ahead and let you know what the schedule is for next week before we get to head coach Tom Ardt. So, Tyler, how was your Friday?
It's going good so far. A little bit earlier than I'm used to on a Friday, but
sorry.
We had to make some changes.
That's right.
I forgot what time my class started at, so that's good.
Very good.
Oh, on a side note, I do like the Mr. Rogers thing because it's just like you never knew he was going to pop in the door.
I know it's like, very exciting.
Get a little friendly neighbor popping in.
I like that. As long as if people know we're up here, they may come in.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's good.
For sure.
Just a quick recap here. Field hockey ended their season last week with 2 losses to Sweetbriar, 3-0 on Friday and 1-0 on Saturday. Chargers end the season 0-13, but again, great to see field hockey back here at LBC, and looking forward to great things in the future for sure. I know head coach Becky Elliott has been out recruiting a ton throughout the whole fall season, and looking forward to seeing where the program goes over the next couple of years. We talked a little bit the other day during the halftime of the women's soccer game on Tuesday about cross country. Again, the men's team taking first place, Ebenezer Abebe and Thatcher Kropp finishing 1-2, Tanner in 6th, Richard Haynes 16th. You can go on and on. The men are NEAC champions, and pretty cool, fun day, a wet day. Like we talked about, the women's team ran well too. Judith Breeze and Kaylee Boger earning second team all-conference with their finishes, 11th and 13th respectively. And, looking forward to it. They have the weekend off. They'll be at the NCAA Mideast Regionals next Saturday. That'll be at DeSales up in Center Valley. We'll talk more about that in next week's podcasts. But again, a cool day, and we kind of talked about that the other day during the women's soccer game. For the women's soccer team, they did lose to Cazenovia 1-0 on Tuesday. It was probably our halftime show jinx that did it. Cazenovia scored 4 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
Yeah, you hate to take the blame for that.
Yeah,
but that was probably us. So they are in a waiting game right now. They did post the mark of what we have for them in terms of the NCCAA getting a bid to that. So for women's soccer, and I think for most teams actually, at least the teams that compete in the NCCAA, you have to finish over 500 during the regular season and qualify for the NEAC playoffs. Obviously, if you win the NEAC playoffs, you would not go to the NCCA because you'd go to the NCAA. So obviously, we didn't win the NEAC because of the loss of the day. We were 7-6-2 in the regular season and qualified for the playoffs. So they're waiting on Grace College out in Indiana. Grace is in their conference semifinals. They play tomorrow. If they would win that, they would be in the conference final, but the way that their conference does it is they wait a week to play the conference final. So if Grace wins tomorrow, they would be in the conference final next Saturday, the 10th. And then if they would win that, they would get a bid to the NAIA tournament, and we would not play them, and the women's soccer season would be over. If for some reason Grace loses, which they could, if they lose tomorrow or next Saturday, we would probably end up playing them in the NCCAA Midwest Region Final. I have to assume that it's out there.
How are we in the Midwest?
There are very few teams in the NCCAA Division One, and then it just how it has gone that we were in the Midwest. We used to be in the East Region when we were Division 2. Now we're Division 1. So we play a lot of teams that offer scholarships and things like that, but we've decided to do that because Division 2 was, I don't want to say too easy, but it just didn't match where we were as a program.
Gotcha.
So that's why we changed. And then it also Division 1 matched better with the Division 3 scheduling model as well. So it's a wait and see right now with the women's soccer team. They may play next Saturday. If Grace would lose, they may play next Saturday. If Grace keeps winning or loses in the conference final, it may be the third weekend in November that they play, or they may not play. So they're just going to keep practicing, and we'll wait and see how Grace does. So depending on if you want to keep playing, you are not rooting for Grace, or I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah. So, but I would have to believe, I don't know this for sure, but Grace is 17-2 now, I think, this year. They're, again, I don't want to, we're taking a really deep dive here into the NCCAA playoff model, but it's based on your Longo rating. And that's basically, the Longo rating helps compare teams, or tries to compare teams in the best way possible, that would never play each other. So we're not putting Grace on the regular season schedule. We're never going to play them just because. A, it's too far away, and B, they're NAIA and we're NCAA Division III. But we're both part of the NCCAA, so the Longo rating basically takes all of your game scores, your opponent's records, if you were home or away, what the score differential was, and spits out a score. Ours was 165. I had to do that the other day. Ours was 165, and I feel comfortable saying that because Grace is 17-2, that theirs is better than that. Because you get obviously more points for wins than you do for losses, and the fact that they have 17 wins and just 2 losses leads me to believe that their Longo is probably higher. So they would host. So the women's soccer team would have to drive to Indiana and play soccer, just like the men's team did a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that.
Yeah. So. Yep. We'll wait and see. I may have an update next week on the podcast, or we may not.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see. So
sit and wait, baby.
Yeah, it's
like
it. Women's volleyball, they are in the NEAC semifinals as well tomorrow. That'll be at 2:30. That match against Wells is in Morrisville, New York. Morrisville State is the host. They're the top seed. They're going to play Gallaudet. That match will be at 11:30. Actually, that match is at 12. Then the LBCs is at 2:30. I like the women's chances. I don't know. Head coach Micah Herron's playing a little coy with how he feels like the chances are, which is fine. But
that's just Micah.
That's just Micah too. Yeah, that's we could go on anything on that. But they have a good draw. Wells is good. We beat them here after we had lost to Cuca. We came back and beat Wells 3-0 this year. But Wells is good. They have tall middles, and they have players who know how to play defense. So it'll be a good match. The Gallaudet Morrisville State match is going to be good. I think the top 4 teams in the conference all season long are in the Final Four for women's volleyball, which is all you can ask for, and then see how it shakes out. So,
that's exactly what you want to see. Yeah,
for sure. That's my opinion, but I think I could prove it. But that's my opinion off the top of my head.
There you go. I'll take your word for
it. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that they'll play tomorrow. There'll be a preview story on lbcchargers.com later today, as well as a men's soccer preview story. So you can look out for those on lbcchargers.com. I should have gone back. Women's soccer, NEAC all-conference players. First team, Maddie Dion. Second team, Brianna Hoover. Third team, Sam Coons. Women's volleyball had Allison Shuey on the first team, Courtney Goyak on the second team, and on the third team was Ashley Bauslog. So both women's soccer and women's volleyball well represented on the NEAC all-conference teams. It's awesome to have first-teamers. Allison Shuey had a tremendous year for the Chargers, has had a tremendous year, still going. For the Chargers, first time we've had a first-teamer since 2014 when Katie Coomber was on the first team. So, again, women's volleyball, kind of out of nowhere. Micah kind of told us that a few weeks ago when he was on the podcast. But fun, and it's one of those things. We were sad that we didn't have any more home matches. I think I would be sad when women's volleyball is over. They don't have an NCCAA option. I should throw that out there now that we're deep into the NCCAA woods. Women's volleyball does not participate in the NCCAA. The NCCAA tournament is later than the soccer. Volleyball is later than soccer, and as a NCAA Division III member, our season can't extend past the NCAA Division III championships, which the NCCA does. So, again, the fact that I can rattle this off is troubling. But
I feel like that's some logistical errors there or something like that by everyone.
There's a lot to it.
By everyone involved.
Yeah, there's just a lot to it. So when the women's volleyball team loses, hopefully not this weekend, hopefully a few weeks from now, whenever they lose again, they are going to be done. So that's the women's volleyball postseason roadmap.
Hopefully that's not for a while.
I would agree. Yeah. That would be good. So,
when does the Division III tournament start then?
The following weekend.
The following weekend?
Yep. So the conference championships are this weekend, and then if the men's soccer or women's volleyball team wins, they will play next weekend at a site to be determined, at a time to be determined. So because of the conference we're in, we generally don't get the greatest first round opponent in terms of, hey, we can go beat that opponent. The men's basketball team last year did get a pretty good matchup because of A, the season we had, B, it was our second time there in 3 years. You can go down the list of things. We had a pretty good region record as well. Men's soccer, I don't know. It would be interesting to see where they would go. I hope not to Grantham. To Messiah. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things where the committee tries to keep it close as best they can. And but at the same time, I don't think we would play F&M. We'd have to see. I don't want to. That's way too many chickens.
Got some exciting times around here.
But for sure, no, it's exciting to even have the conversation. Right. Especially women's volleyball. They've only been in the semifinals once in the program's 8-year history in the NEAC. That was 2012, the second year we were in. We lost. So even getting to the NEAC final would put them on above ground of everywhere that we've been with the program. So it's a special time for those two programs, and obviously just hope to keep extending. That's what we're doing right now. You guys talk about that all the time in baseball. We're playing. Let's get to one more inning. Let's get to one more, whatever it is. So I got a text from Tommy. He's on the way.
Okay.
So
great.
So we'll talk men's soccer when he gets here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay? Do you have anything?
I mean, we should probably not talk like basketball with him. So
no, he can probably offer some things. He does the floor.
Know.
He knows.
He does.
He does.
So. What kind of soap do you use to clean? Or I don't even know what they use.
You want to go for that? What's your detergent list? Okay, he could probably answer. So we'll talk soccer here in a minute. I will mention real quick before he gets here on men's soccer, they're NEAC all-conference members. Dan Baversdorf and Jake Detterline on the first team. Second team was Jared Jordan, and third team was Chad Tolson. And then we are going to be in the presence of the NEAC Coach of the Year when Tommy gets here. So
I feel so honored. It's amazing.
First time, I know. We'll give him a little bow.
It's crazy.
When he gets in here.
I'm gonna have to get his autograph before he leaves.
That's right. You should probably we'll take our hats off too when he gets here. We don't want to offend him. It would be gentlemen.
Stand and bow.
That's right. So we'll do the top 5 quick, and then when Tom gets here, we'll make that happen.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you want to introduce?
Yeah, sure. I can introduce. This week on the top 5 list, we have the top 5 holidays, and you had a prerequisite with that. You want to explain that a little bit?
Just not necessarily like the holiday that you think is the greatest in terms of like the actual holiday,
more like the meaning of it.
Right. So because we Christmas and Easter get to be on the top 2 of all those lists. Or at least they should be on the top of the so it was more of the atmosphere of the holiday.
Gotcha.
And you brought up there then that I went traditional at first and then changed it based upon what you had told me one of yours was.
Yeah, I have some personal ones, so like personal holidays.
Right. So
like they're not just for me. They're for everyone.
They're not on the calendar,
but they're not recognized
at Christmas. When your parents or grandparents buy you a calendar. For
exactly.
The year. They don't show up on the bottom of the day.
What pictures do you usually get on your calendar? What themes do you usually get?
I like those Ansel Adams ones, like the black and whites of like Yosemite and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I like those.
Yeah.
What do you get?
I don't know.
Flower
just like
arrangements.
Yeah, I like colored pictures from around the United States. Little Grand Canyon, like you said, Grand Canyon. There's a couple mountains going on. I like it.
Everyone gets those.
Yeah.
But these people who buy them in the mall, we're getting off, but tangent here. But people buy them in the mall before Christmas. Mm-hmm. What are you doing paying full price? They're going to be 50% off.
Same with wrapping paper too. Like, have you ever gone to Walmart after Christmas?
Oh, you can just get everything.
It's
for
like
next year.
20 cents.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right. It befuddles me that people are walking around with these calendars prior to December 25th. What are you doing? You don't need it for another 6 days.
It's dumb.
Anyway, sorry, that's next. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I changed my number 5 because of something that you said. I didn't take the sport that you said. So my number 5 is New Year's Day bowl games.
Okay. Yeah.
So fortunately, Penn State's been in some of those recently. That's made it better. But I'm not sure that I actually sit down and watch the full day of games, but just knowing that it's even available, I think is what I'm.
New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing a ton.
Right.
It's pork, sauerkraut.
Yeah. You're off work.
Yeah. Right. Right. Off work.
Yep.
So, again, I'm not like planning my day around these football games about teams that I probably watched once or twice. But
but they are fun.
Just knowing that I can sit there on.
Yeah.
Like an option. Like last night I was sitting with my son who was not feeling well, and the Flyers are on the West Coast. I'm not a Flyers fan.
Yeah.
But there was live hockey on.
Right.
It was 11:30.
Exactly. Yep.
It was great.
Yeah. I like those West Coast games.
I know.
Especially like the Flyers are doing not that great right now, I should say. Awesome. They've won the last 2 games though, so that's good. But it's kind of nice to be able to fall asleep to watching a sport.
Agreed.
I like that. So
agreed.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Memorial Day.
Okay.
Again, not because I'm a big Memorial Day guy, although I mean I can get into it.
Right.
Just it feels like the beginning of summer.
Yep.
It's like a nice little. It's your one last break off of school, at least for my wife and son, who teach and go to school.
Yep.
So
That's good.
It's cool. Let me put that out there. Jeez. So again, it just feels like the one last thing. You can kind of like gear up for summer. Like once it's Memorial Day, it's like, okay, we made it through the school year, minus the days where you go and play games, and we're about done here. So I like that.
I totally get that. That's for sure. Yep.
Number 3 is 4th of July. Again, middle of summer. Again, just I would say that I like this holiday in general. I'm a history guy.
It's a pretty big holiday, though.
It is a big holiday. I'm a history guy.
We might not even be doing this podcast unless 4th of July happened.
Wow.
So
taking it the whole way back.
Just think that.
Nice. Probably not.
Yeah.
Or we'd have British accents. If
Possibly.
Else.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So I like the 4th of July. It feels like the middle of summer. It can be out till pretty late with the sun still up. Number 2 is Thanksgiving. I'm going to go pretty cliche here, the last two. Number 2 is Thanksgiving. We could have a whole podcast on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it turns out we might
be. Top 5 Thanksgiving foods?
Top 5. We're going to have Thanksgiving dinner on the podcast.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the boys, right?
Yeah.
Are we doing that with the student workers?
I'm so down, yeah.
So that's in a couple weeks.
Yeah. See what Hunter can bring to the table for that food. I don't know.
Right. He's going to have to get something shipped here from Colorado. So Thanksgiving, the day, it's kind of turned into like a multiple day thing. I would include Black Friday in Thanksgiving. When I'm saying Thanksgiving, I'm giving you like Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of mine here. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm sorry. I should let you get first.
It's all right. No worries. I always go
first.
I
like Thanksgiving. There's, again, the football box is checked.
Oh,
the food box is checked.
Oh, yeah.
We usually go hike.
Okay.
Around Thanksgiving. I always like doing that. And then the family thing. Again, a little cliche.
Yeah.
But, and then
that's important.
I wouldn't say... I like to shop. I like to people watch.
Yeah.
When my living are shopping or if we're not. So I have to have that discussion.
Okay.
Number 1's Christmas. I know that's like, number 1, of course. Is that your number 1?
No, it's not my number 1.
I mean, it goes without saying. All boxes are checked. You get to hang out with family. There's food. We usually go on not like a big trip. It's usually, and sometimes we don't even go, frankly. But it's just nice to be able to have the option.
Right.
Sports are on. I do like the basketball. So yeah, just Christmas. I like Christmas, and it's a full. I would include the surrounding days of Christmas as well. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, my top 5. I'm gonna have number 5. I have Memorial Day as number 5. Pretty much all the same reasons you did. Memorial Day, kind of the kickoff of summer. Maybe have a little barbecue. Yeah, and usually by that time you got a little baseball going on.
That's true.
So there's nothing better than like grilling a burger or hot dog and like watching a baseball game.
I like it.
Love that. Number 4. Baseball opening day.
Oh, nice.
If you can tell, it's a theme here. I'm not sure if you've picked up on that or not, but baseball opening day, big day in my family. Yeah, it's just fun. You get this kind of like that summer vibe again, and I just like that summer vibe.
Have you ever been to an opening day game?
I have not.
I went to one.
Okay.
When I was in college, I went to the Pirates Brewers opening day.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were freshmen, sophomore in college.
My mom and dad went down to the Phillies game last year on opening day, so that was I guess they weren't home on opening day last year,
right.
but it was the home opener, so they went to that. Number 3, I have Christmas/Christmas Eve.
Oh, nice.
My family gets together on both days actually, so it's we go hard. Yeah.
Double presents.
Yeah, it's
for you.
not quite. Let's go. Number 2, I have 4th of July as well.
Nice.
They've got that whole patriotic vibe going on. There's nothing better than running around acting like a true American, so I like that. And then number 1, I have Thanksgiving / Black Friday as well because we go out usually around here, and then we go to like Linden Diner and like some other diner like 4 a.m, so that's fun. So, but yeah, that's my top 5.
Awesome. Well, we're now in the presence of the great NEAC Coach of the Year, Tom Ardt. We did top 5 holidays. That was the theme this week. I wasn't sure when you were getting here, so I didn't make you make a list. What can you want to give a couple?
Oh, number 1 is Thanksgiving, hands down.
Okay, we had it in our top 2. At least he was 1, I was 2 on Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice. Food, football, naps.
We missed naps.
Yeah, I forgot naps. Yeah.
Those 3.
Nice.
See, my family doesn't come over till like 4 usually though, so like my naps are usually in the morning.
Such a college.
Also called sleeping.
Yeah. Tommy and I both have kids, so I'm on with the sleeping in. What is this sleeping in you talking about? I'm out on
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, no,
You sound a little bitter.
that's a long time ago.
I'm not bitter.
No,
I remember sleeping.
That's
in.
good,
Let's
yeah.
just say it like that.
it's like the good old days.
It's over. We're done.
It's-
Never again.
It's really like if there's a 7 that starts the clock and I'm still asleep,
That's good.
it's like a big day.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's wild.
Yeah.
anything else
absolutely.
come to mind on holidays?
No, for real. I could go on about Thanksgiving for a long time. So it's also the end of a grueling season.
Oh, that's true.
And so it's kind of like a double like restful time after a busy time. So no,
Last year, you guys both like the Eagles. Didn't the Eagles play on Thanksgiving last year? Or was that 2 years ago? Would you like if the team that you rooted for played on Thanksgiving?
I would,
Yes,
yeah.
because
Okay.
if they played the 1 o'clock game, because my family
Okay,
doesn't
early
come over
game.
till like 4:30.
Oh, okay.
So
But like
it's
if it's the
whatever.
night game, like you're just dozing the whole time. Like
I mean, if it's the Eagles, though, I'm
Yeah,
watching
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
I actually got in big trouble with my extended family because I had a Bundesliga soccer match on during the commercials of an NFL game 2 Thanksgivings ago. And my brother-in-law literally wrestled the remote from my hands, and there was loud words and yelling at me for having the wrong kind of football on TV.
I'm going to the
And,
Arts for
Are you,
Thanksgiving.
are you guys?
It was hilarious.
Are you guys big like turkey bowl, like backyard football guys, or not?
We-
really?
we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We get a good
We used to
game
do that, but a bunch of my cousins got too old now, so like they don't really want to play anymore.
Yeah, so it's always muddy too. Like it's always
Yeah, yeah.
The backyard is just kind of wet, like today, and just but
Yeah. So
it's fun.
But yeah, it's a good time.
All right, we're done with the holiday discussion. We're here to talk soccer.
All right,
Or apparently the wrong football, apparently.
exactly.
So we didn't talk a whole lot about men's soccer. We mentioned you're all conference guys. Obviously, we're in a good spot, semifinals. This is the first time we've had a bye into the semifinals since 2015, I believe.
14.
14, that's right. What's different about playing a quarterfinal and then a semifinal and then having the week off into a semifinal? So you've done it both ways now that you've
Right.
had the bye and you wait.
Right.
You get to wait who your opponent is. You get to have the week, not off, but no games.
Yep.
Or the difference between using the momentum from winning a quarterfinal on a Tuesday
Yeah.
and bringing that to a Saturday. What's the difference? Do you like
Great
one
question.
better?
Great question. I think last year it was we won the quarterfinal game against Berks in a really like a resounding win, and I don't know. Then when you win big in the quarterfinal, you might be tempted to think it's just going to happen again, and
Right.
maybe that was a little bit last year, but the bye gives you a chance just to sharpen up things. Like we could practice really hard for like 3 days, and play full field 11s and work on some different tactics in that format, which is hard to do during the season because you're always like game. You got to recover a little bit, so you can't really go too hard. So we went hard for 3 days this week. Pushed them really hard. Guys were saying they haven't been this sore since preseason. So then today and yesterday, we just go light and work on some slower stuff. It's a little more boring for the guys. I mean, because they love to play. So
Right.
so that's the difference, I think, is you get that preparation on real key details versus a win, which is good, momentum building, correct, but also can maybe set you up. I think last year a little bit like we were maybe just a touch like it's going to happen. We're going to win again, and then again, and so yeah.
Okay. Because the other time we had this, we did win. In 14, we won the semifinal and went to the final.
Right.
So I was just curious. That's all. Because I know we've done both things where we've had the bye and played. So you mentioned that the guys are sore, but at least having a good week. How has the week been from start to finish? Or today's the finish. Obviously, we're going to go tomorrow. But
Yeah, we did some different things that I've never done before as far as we got the scoreboard going. So we just kind of did maybe a little bit of what the basketball team might do, like situations like we're up a goal with 10 minutes to go. That can we hold on the lead? So we have we've got our first team, second team, and mixing them in sometimes, and that was really good. Like guys it simulated more than I thought it would.
Cool.
So the week was very good. I mean, it was almost like yesterday, borderline guys getting hurt in the scrimmage. And so you're also like just hoping and praying that you go through a full week of hard training and no one gets hurt. That's another
Right.
thing that can happen. And we survived the first 3 hard days, so we should be good. But so like the week's been very good, very sharp. Guys are focused. You almost want it to you just want to play. You're like, let's get the game going. We could have played yesterday. We would have been ready in a way.
Yep.
But these last 2 days we can sharpen up details. So yeah, it's going to be really fun tomorrow. Just
And
good competition.
all of those who don't have season-ending injuries, we've had some season-ending injuries, but other guys had gotten dinged up, missed a few games. You don't have to. Obviously, I don't think we're giving the store away here. But are all those guys ready to go for tomorrow? For the
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're all ready to go, and that was this week was good for those guys too to get like some good full field like just live play, and even against our own team, but it's still very good. So yeah, those guys are ready to go.
Good. Perfect.
Sweet. So what are you telling your guys going into this weekend? Like, kind of get them in the right mindset for everything that's going to go down.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit this week about like it's not about wanting to win more than Penn College on Saturday. It's about wanting to prepare this week at the highest level possible, because we're both going to want to win equally as bad. I mean, it's it's just the nature of athletics. Like both teams are going to be up for the game. So it's about what can we do in the preparation period to be able to get there and to then play our game. And we know how to play against them because we had success in the way we played. So we might do some of the same stuff, might change it a little bit. I'm not sure. But the game plan is kind of simple, straightforward. Can we execute it? And so, yeah, so telling them basically our theme for the year is love the routine, and just like the routine days of training, which when you play, why do we all play sports? Because we love to play the actual game. You know, we don't sit and do drills all the time in our practices. We're playing live, and so that's fun. And so guys will naturally respond to that. So they have.
That's good.
Along those same lines, are you preparing for one game or two? Like what and again, that's the guys are preparing for Saturday.
Correct.
You have to sort of mostly do that, or maybe maybe you're just like, forget it. If we play Sunday, we're just going to play and it'll be free and whatever. Or are you trying some things out in practice that you would only use against a Cobleskill or Abington?
Yes, to that last statement. So, absolutely. Like, we trust the guys are going to be mature enough to know, like, we're not overlooking Penn College at all.
No, that
and that will be a battle. And so they are not. I mean, they know it's going to. It was the tight game last game. It was 1-1 with a minute left, and
we're going to get there in a second.
So, okay, jumping ahead of you. But yeah. So there is. So Abington and Cobleskill, any of those guys could make it out of the semifinal. Obviously, any of the 4 teams could get to the final, but they do play their own distinct styles. So we had to, because we're not going to have much time to prepare. I mean, we will probably get on the turf Saturday night and work through some things potentially, at least walk through. We already talked about that as a team, and so I actually got to get the clear with the lights being turned on for us from the boss. But yeah, we're preparing for the weekend, one game at a time.
Yep.
Coach's answer there?
No, it's fine. I mean, it's a good answer. I was just curious because we've asked it before for people who are playing even back-to-back games on a NEAC weekend.
Right.
You know, obviously you're going to be playing the next day, but it's hard not to just think about the first game and what you do for the second game, things like that. So I think to your point, we talked about this with the volleyball. I think the 4 most well-rounded teams in men's soccer in the NEAC this season are in the semifinals. Do you tend to agree with that?
Yes.
I know Morrisville and Cuca are good.
Yep. Yeah, I would say the top 6 for sure made the playoffs.
I think the top 6 were the right 6, and then anything can happen with those. That's probably better ways.
And SUNY Poly, I think, was close because they had, they had a really rough year with injuries. Talking to Peterson about their situation, I could relate a little bit with some things that we had, but not to that extent even. So yeah, top 6 got in. Quarterfinals were penalties, as you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was these 4 teams have been really good all year, consistent, and so we're excited to see.
And just real quick to follow up on that, you've now been in the NEAC all the years we've been in the NEAC, right? Your first year was our first year in the NEAC.
11, right?
Yeah. So talk to real quick. You don't have to take a deep historiography here of the NEAC. What's the level of play now in the NEAC from where it was maybe your first year to maybe your 4th or 5th to now your 8th? Because we just talked about 7 teams that we feel like are really good soccer teams.
Yeah.
I don't know that number was 7, 8 years ago when you started.
Yeah, I totally agree. Overall, I always get confused on this term, but parity is there's a less parity. Is that right? So teams are closer or more parity?
There's probably more parity.
That's what I'm trying.
5 years ago,
confused on that.
It was going to be a big deal if someone beat Morrisville State.
Exactly. Yeah. Now it's anybody's. The last 2 seasons, it's been anybody's. It's been up for grabs.
Right.
The last 2 years,
Yep.
Abington has clearly established themselves as the top team the last 2 years, no doubt. But yeah, every game's close. Like Abington's battling a lot of really close games here.
Because when we were in the final in 2014, we were going to have to play perfect to beat Morrisville State.
Yeah, they were
and
really
we played
good.
really well in the NEAC final and lost 2-0.
They were really good.
So,
yeah.
So
Strong team.
I'm just curious about, because I think top to bottom, even the bottom, you still have to play well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there were times a couple years ago where we joked about, well, we'll just bring half the team.
Yeah. You don't.
But now you have to bring everybody, and they're probably going to play 60 to 70 minutes, even the bottom teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just curious.
The overall level has improved. No, I think everybody would admit that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going kind of building up with that. You see you guys really play well together. Bench guys play well together. Just walking around campus, they're always together, having a good time. And it just seems like they have really good camaraderie together. And that kind of surprises me a little bit because you guys kind of start in the fall and you don't get here till the last 2 weeks of August, I guess.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys do to kind of build that chemistry with each other in such a short time?
Yeah, you have to do it quick. You have to right away, get the guys breaking those barriers down between the newcomers and the returners, and there's already the established groups of returners, and the newcomers kind of they bond together a little bit, freshmen, transfers. So we do a few things real quick. I could probably talk a lot about that because we really enjoy trying to build that into the team. It's part, I think, of our mission at LBC of being a little unique in some ways. But we do a team retreat every fall. Well, starting last year, we did it for the first time. We always do a spring retreat, but we wanted to do one in the fall to really accelerate that togetherness. So we do a quick overnight camping trip. Intense, no cell phones, take those away just for one night. So it's 24 hours. And then we cook out, grill out, we swim, we go to a relative's house that lets us use their yard and their pool. And we assign guys, freshmen mixed in with the seniors. And that's a big part of it. The other thing we do is restaurants, no cell phones are allowed when we go out to dinner as a team or any meal as a team. So guys kind of always survey, guys are mixing in. And that's important because we've had issues with groups of seniors just being exclusive, and there's going to be some of that's natural, but we wanted to try to break that down. So those are two things, I guess, quick answers that I think have helped.
I also saw you guys do a little speed dating thing or something like that. Is that
new
this year? Or is that
that was last year for the first time.
Oh, last year, okay.
Yeah, and every year it'll be every year just because it's forced interaction with each other. And so literally line all the returners up on one side, the new guys up on the other side, and the new guys, we have little scripted questions that they go through, dumb stuff what was your favorite cartoon as a kid, and they start reflecting and laughing, and you can see it kind of break down walls, and then everyone just rotates down and they exchange numbers too. So everybody can text everybody just like you would in speed dating. It's great. It went well.
It's the best picture every preseason.
It, yeah.
It just 30 guys, 50 on each side or whatever it is. And just it looks exactly like speed dating. Every cliche picture you ever think of is speed dating, except it's the LBC men's soccer team. I just love I wait for that picture
great.
every year. It's just great.
It's going up on the social media every year.
It's just terrific. It's really funny. It's just good. So more centric to Saturday now. Like you kind of mentioned, we played Penn College just a few weeks ago. They scored early.
Mm-hmm.
We came back in the second half with a goal and then had a late PK after Kedrick was tripped up in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Joel connected for that. Late winner, great. What are you, again, I don't want to give you don't have to give the trade secrets here, but how much are you changing? Or are you saying, because I know speaking with you after that, you were pretty happy with the way the guys played, even though it was a tight game and Penn's good and physical team and things like that. How much are you changing up, or how much you guys kind of just, let's run that back? That was a pretty good plan.
Yeah, when it works, you don't need to try to reinvent the wheel and overcomplicate it. So I think we're going to play a similar style against them. We worked on some set piece stuff yesterday, and we'll work more today. So because they're pretty good on set pieces, and both quarterfinal games, a goal was scored off a set piece. So just a key phase of the game that you got to be ready for. That takes some just slow it down, details. Let's do it again. Not the favorite practice for a player. Sure. And I remember my days too. I hated those, but you got to do it, and the guys have been locked in. So do the same kind of approach, I think, in general against them. Personnel will be different because we were missing a few guys. Mm-hmm. That was some of the injury stuff going on back then. So that'll be exciting to get guys in who didn't play against them last time, or played very little and came out with an injury. So that was a great game. Their first goal was really nice early. It really helped them get the lead, and they had some other chances too. And Jake, first team all conference goalie, I think had a few moments in that game where he helped us, and so that's why he got that award. So it's going to be a similar game plan, I think.
And obviously in that game they scored first. But we kind of talked about this the other day. How important is it for this group, our group, to maybe get that first goal. You talked about situational things with 10 minutes to go, but even scoring in the first 10 minutes and 80 minutes to go, just giving the guys some life there. Because we haven't played yet this week. They have.
Right.
For 110 minutes and PKs. So
yeah.
I don't know if they're not going to be bothered, but they've played this week and we haven't. So talk about it that way.
Yeah.
Not to say that if you don't score first, we're in big trouble. But just getting that confidence early in the game, or
to show that you can score, because we struggled for a little while scoring goals earlier this year, which was funny because we thought we'd struggled defensively, losing 3 of our back 4 starting players from last year, and defensively it's been consistently pretty good. So we struggled at one point scoring goals. Since then it's been decent, good at times, and still some struggles here and there. But I think the first goal obviously is like just kind of a sigh of relief. Hopefully not like oh sweet, we got it now, which I don't think this group has shown that, to kind of relax once we get the first goal. And I think the style of the game plan against Penn will help us like stay urgent with keeping attacking, So it'll be huge if we can score first. But Penn will push. I mean, they let's see, they scored first against Morrisville, and then Morrisville tied it a little later. So they'll battle. I know Tyler. He knows how to get his team up for the games, and they'll be tough.
Good. That's.
Go ahead. Less soccer related question. If you want.
Finish it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Man. Well, since you asked that during the season, and we've eaten so much pizza during the season, probably pizza. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've kind of done that for the last few months in the season, because it's such easy food to get, to go quick after a game, and like it's a good post game meal. I mean, it's a good carbs and some protein in there. Probably pizza.
That's a power food right there. Like,
it is. Yeah.
It just slides right down, man. Like you could go like three slices.
Dude,
no
can
problem.
I get different kinds? Like, is it just?
It's just a general.
Dude,
genre.
Then I could mix it up like crazy with different pizzas.
And also, do you take any pride of having the best beard out of the coaches or anything like that? You're shaped up real nice right now.
I just went, and that's why I was late for this. Sorry.
Okay.
But
where's your spot? You got a barber?
I don't really have a spot. I just go to whoever's available, and also the budget.
Oh, right, the kids thing. I forgot about that. We talked about it. That's right. Exactly. Who's available? I do mine in my garage. So
wow. Yeah. I let Poppy do that here. You know Poppy?
No, who's that?
The Keanu.
Oh yeah, the campus barber.
Yeah,
I would go to him. He's like $5, right?
Yeah, he trims you up real nice.
He's
actually pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll probably be there next time if I remember.
Yeah. Shameless plug for him right here.
Right.
There you go, Poppy.
Get him an hour.
He's good.
That's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
No.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Tommy, for coming on. I think Tyler has to go to class.
Yeah, I'm a little late already.
Sorry, man.
That sounds about right. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're cheering you on. We hope to be talking soccer next week for the pod, because that means you guys are going somewhere good.
Yeah, we're excited about it. The guys are pumped, and it's been a really, really fun group to work with. So let's go down there and execute.
That sounds great to
sure.
us.
Looking forward to it.
We'll be on twice next week, 2 podcasts next week. We're going to have a women's basketball preview on Tuesday and a men's basketball preview on Thursday. So head coach Caitlin Vanderhoff will join us on Tuesday afternoon, and men's head coach Andrew Wingreen will join us on Thursday. So basketball is here. I can't believe it. And we'll be talking hoops next week and getting set for next Saturday's women's home opener at 1 o'clock. And the men will follow on Tuesday at 7 o'clock as they host Messiah. So the place is going to be a madhouse here on the 13th. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for sure.
Everybody have a safe weekend. Turn your clock back.
Yeah.
And it'll be really dark early, and it'll be terrible. So good.
It's the worst time of the year, actually.
We'll do a top 5 worst holidays. That'll be high on the list. So
turn your clock back.
That's right. Although losing the hour of sleep in the spring is no good either.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Horse No Name podcast. For Tyler and Zach, go Chargers, go.